Hello everyone and welcome back to Typical City. This is your latest Manchester City news and transfer news, and it's heating up. It is heating up big time. City have signed Kovacic, and now I'm pleased with this signing. There were question marks over whether this was even going to happen. The last couple of days it seemed to almost act as an inevitability that it was going to happen, but it was like, where is the signing? And I think the release of Gundogan to Barcelona has triggered the announcement from City, and we are now seeing the announcement finally gone through, and this could be the sort of deal that we look back on with fond memories, with a good price tag and a player that just puts in a shift, and a Kanji style signing. Someone that's a little bit low-key, not too high profile. He's far more high profile than a Kanji, but it's a lower profile signing than Declan Rice. Let's just put that as an example. And I do think he's going to be one of those players that over the course of the season will look at him and go, you know what? He's been a bloody brilliant signing. What a signing he's been. And I really hope he can be. There are differences between what Gundogan brings to the table to what Kovacic brings to the table. I do think that he's got more goals in him. I think he's an amazing finisher. Some of the goals that I've seen him score. Gundogan's got goals in him too, don't get me wrong. He can receive the ball in tight spaces, as can Gundogan. I don't think his vision for a pass is quite as good as Gundogan, but I think he can carry the ball far more better than Gundogan, with Gundogan being the wrong side of 30. I think we're signing Kovacic, a 29-year-old who is the peak of his career right now. So we are getting him at the pinnacle of his career and what he's going to be capable of as a football player. And I think we're going to see the best of him. And that's going to be with Pep Guardiola teaching him these things. And he's come out and he's mentioned Pep Guardiola in his first interview with the club. And that seems to be a common trend now. I don't think many players sign for City without mentioning the Pep Guardiola factor, the Pep factor. It's such a big decision, and why I think Declan Rice would be a fool to not sign for City, particularly if Pep Guardiola is the manager. Roberto Mancini, former Inter Milan manager who had Kovacic under his belt and under his leadership when he was at Inter Milan, said he is going to become a champion. He's missing a few things to his game right now, but he's going to become a champion. And he did become a champion. He almost became a World Cup champion, a World Cup finalist, not lost in 2018, but he's a Champions League winner for Chelsea. I can't remember how they won that. I've erased that whoosh from my memory. That is gone. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't remember him winning a Champions League medal. But he did. Obviously, it was against us, disappointing. But, I mean, we've signed a winner. So that whole getting over the mentality of learning how to become a City player. And there are obviously intricacies to the way City play and the tactics that we implement on the pitch that he's going to have to get used to. But some players come along, Jack Grealish, for example, going from Aston Villa, winning nothing and not being challenged at the highest level, had to learn how to cross the white line in a Champions League final and FA Cup finals and Premier League title run-ins. He's done that. We're signing a player he's got those battle scars already, so we know what we're going to get with Kovacic. But the question is, what position is he going to play? Because it seems to be a likely replacement. Cheeky has already said, Cheeky Bergenstein in his interview alongside Kovacic has already said that he can play as a 6 or an 8. Now the 6 is interesting because that's obviously what Declan Rice is going to be playing in that position if we sign him. And whether that's a good idea to play alongside Rodri and Kovacic alongside each other if we don't get Declan Rice, or we're going to have to rest Rodri at some point because he was battered to the hills last season with appearances and minutes. He was just relentlessly used by Pep Guardiola, and I wouldn't say we got away with it. I think we're starting to, our medical department is starting to bear fruits and actually produce all these injury-prone players that they're not picking up injuries anymore. Last season, we barely lost anybody. So hats off, tip your hat to the medical department, and hopefully Kovacic can be the same. But it is a matter of time with Rodri, so you never know if we're going to need to play Kovacic in that role, in the defensive midfield role. But for me, I genuinely thought Foden was going to be playing in the centre of midfield a lot more this season, and there's still very good chance that he could do that. Whether he's playing alongside Kovacic or not, we're not sure. Maybe Pep sees Foden as a replacement for a long-term replacement for De Bruyne. You can't really replace De Bruyne. The things that he can do with a football is a magician. So he is going to be hard to replace. I'm not sure Foden has the same attributes as Kevin De Bruyne, but he does other things that De Bruyne doesn't do. So there are elements to have benefits to having Foden in the middle of the park. Alongside Kovacic could be interesting because De Bruyne is not going to be starting the season. He's picked up an injury already in the Champions League final, so that's going to see him out of the Burnley game and the Community Shield game against Arsenal. So we could already see Foden being thrown right into the deep end, right into the middle of the park. Whether that's going to be alongside Kovacic, signing him as early as this as well is just two things. One, he gets to bed into the squad early, get used to Pep's system, listen to Pep Guardiola, listen and learn. And the second thing is just how the club is operating. We're miles ahead of everybody else on the pitch, miles ahead of everybody else. And off the pitch, we are performing actions like a crude business that's just a slick, well-oiled machine that has no intentions of stopping at all. You thought the Champions League, that was it. We're done there. The treble. We're talking quadruples now. We're going for the even bigger achievements that have never been achieved. Not this, we're going to emulate what United have done. We're going to surpass what United have done. And we're doing that. That statement of signing Kovacic and putting in the bid for Declan Rice as well, those two plays, those two power moves in the transfer market is a statement to the rest of the Premier League that you thought that standing still is going backwards in football. So you can't rest on your laurels. We can't just sit there and hope we've not signed. We're a treble-winning team, so why not do it again? Let's do it again next season. We saw what happened to Liverpool when they went and won the Champions League and the Premier League the year before that, and how well they did that year. They just fell off after that. And I don't think they didn't beef out their midfield, a very much needed and ageing midfield that it needed replacements, and they never went and did it. And because of that, they fell apart and they've fallen off the face of the earth. They clawed their way back and nearly got a top 4 position. But that just goes to show that how if you don't act in the transfer market, you get punished the following season. And I like to think that this is just a statement of intent that we are not done yet. And it's amazing to see that we're going in. And the deal as well, the price tag is extremely admirable. I'm really pleased with that 25 million plus 5 million add-ons. I'm sure everyone's going to add on his wages, the agent fees, his transfer, how much he eats at lunch, his expenses. Everything gets added up when it's a City transfer. I'm sick of hearing it. The figures that get branded when a City make a signing are massive compared to they remove all those fees when it's a United, Liverpool or Arsenal signing. Those players, that is just what the outlay fee. They don't even include the add-ons as well. And these add-ons for Kovacic, by the way, are performance-based add-ons, not time-restricted ones. So I don't know what they are. I'm not privy to that information, but it'd be interesting to know what targets and performance targets he has to hit to trigger that 5 million. But it is interesting to see. Kovacic himself has said, this is a brilliant move for me and I cannot wait to get started with City. Anyone who has watched this team under Pep, there you go, mentioning Pep, knows how good they are. For me, they are the best in the world. The trophies they have won are clear for all to see, but they are also the best footballing side out there. To be joining this squad really is a dream for any footballer. There it is. Without fail, without doubt. It is mandatory for every footballer in the world, even if you sign for Leyton Orient. It's a dream come true. No matter who you sign for, it's a dream come true. It's just a mandatory statement that they can't help themselves. They have to say it. I still have plenty of learning and developing to do, and I know under Pep's management I can become a better player, which is really exciting for me. My plan now is to rest for a few weeks before coming back to Manchester to prepare for the new season. I want to help this club stay at the top and win more trophies. There you have it. There you have it. What an exciting time this is going to be. I mean, 221 appearances for Chelsea over 5 years. It did not feel like 5 years. 5 years at Chelsea, that was a long time. And I mean, he picked up plenty of trophies. Champions League, I think he got a Europa League, a FIFA Club World Cup as well. So, yeah, he's not short of a trophy or two already. But you come into a club that you can't say we guarantee it, but if there ever was a club in the Premier League in particular that can say that this is a guarantee trophy club, then it's City. But you still can't say that it's guaranteed. But ever since Pep's first season, we haven't gone a year without one. So it is almost inevitable that he's going to be adding a few medals to his living room, whatever, however he likes to display. He might keep them by the toilet. Who knows? It might not be in the living room. But that is a big signing, and I hope, Blues, this is the first of many. And like I said, one of those that goes under the radar a little bit, to the point of it's not extravagant, it's not blockbuster, £700 million Mbappe bollocks like that. It's none of that. It's just a little bit, subtle, a bit more delicate in the market, savvy. It's savvy is what it is. That was the word I was looking for, and I hope it proves to be as savvy as I hope it is going to be. But ultimately, it's a great signing, I think. I think it will be a great signing. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's going to be a good signing? Do you think we needed him? Obviously, with Gundogan, this is the replacement. So that means I think Barella's out. That conversation's probably dead in the water now. There was a couple other players that were linked alongside him, alongside Kovacic. Barella would have been my go-to. That's who I would have picked. But clearly, Kovacic is the man that they wanted. And Cheeky stressed how much they've kept a close eye on him, so it's not an off-the-cuff, rash decision. This has been well calculated, and obviously conversations with Gundogan have gone into the thinking behind this signing. So, another good day. Bid for a Declan Rice. Kovacic signed. Great day to be a City fan once again. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe. Typical City is the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.
This is Typical City now.